Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Merry Monday Mailcall Show. It's Monday in Australia. It's probably Sunday afternoon or night where you are in the world. Welcome. It's great to see you all. How's things? Happy New Year. We are now officially in 2025, which is great. You would have seen my 2025 collecting goals video, hopefully, where I went through recently what I'm going to be focusing on this year. But welcome to the show. It's so good to see you all. We have a few people in the chat. Let's say hello. Locke is here. Happy New Year, Dave. Happy New Year to you. Bit of a shout out to Locke. Mad Monkey Love is his Instagram account. He is one of the contributors to Comics Curing Cancer, which this show is going to be all about today in terms of the reveal. There are going to be a couple of other books that I'll show alongside. But yes, we will be showing off the haul that I got from Comics Curing Cancer, which is an annual event run by Rob's Fat Stacks Comics and the rest of the crew, which all goes to the American Cancer Society. So I took part in that early this year. I think it ran in October. Bought a whole bunch of items. There's going to be two videos for this. There's going to be this one, which is the first batch of books that I've received. And then the second batch will be the aforementioned Locke's artwork that he did for me. So again, if you haven't checked it out, Mad Monkey Love on Instagram, go and check out Locke. He's a fantastic community artist and just a general nice guy, as well as a fantastic artist. So check him out if you can. That would be great. Talking about Comics Curing Cancer, Rob Fat Stacks is obviously heads that up, and he also became a new member this month of the price variance, which is our channel membership here at Still Only 35 Cents. I'm just going to bring up the details of our, let's get rid of Rob's remark. This is the price variance, our channel membership for Still Only 35 Cents. You get access to members only videos, bullpen interviews, creative videos. We're going to be doing more of those. I've got one in the bank at the moment that I'll be sharing pretty soon, as well as sketch show. We're going to do a little bit of a change on the sketch show. I think there's a bit of a reorg going to happen in terms of how we're going to do it. But essentially, crew members will be able to get access to these live sketch shows, but then also be put into the draw once a month to get a live sketch as they go. As I mentioned here, Rob is a brand new member of the price variance, so welcome to the team, mate, alongside Simple Simon, Brian LCS, Mad Spidey, Deadman Comic Cover Show, and Easyverse NYC. Great to have you on board, mate. Welcome. Let's turn this off. Just so you know, all of those proceeds for channel memberships, I just want to make this one clear, all channel membership proceeds will be going to the Hero Initiative. Now, if you don't know what the Hero Initiative is, it's a charity that is set up to essentially help creators that have issues around medical bills, etc. I thought it was a really nice way to give back to those creators. We do a lot of content here about the creators that brought us all of these amazing comic books. So I thought it would be a good way to give back to that. So again, if you do join, all the channel memberships will be going to the Hero Initiative, and it's only $2.99 US a month. Not sure what the translation is into some of the other currencies. I think in the UK it's £2.99. But yeah, any contribution would be gratefully received, and we look forward to seeing you on the show. So let's get back to the comments and see who we have. We have Second Best Bob. Of course, how are you? Welcome to the show. It is great to have you join us as well. I've also put the link into the chat as well. So if anyone feels like jumping on, talking through the Comics Curing Cancer haul and the books that we have here, more than happy to have you on board and chat through. So with that, maybe I will bring up our illustrious second camera and show you some of the books that have come in this week at Still Only 35 Cents headquarters. I might make that the full screen for once, actually, so that you get a really good view of the whole collection until we get somebody in the chat. So I thought I'd start off with my new comic book day haul for this week. Couple of issues, not too many. I did throw myself into Challenges of the Unknown. There's a little bit of history as to why I'm why I picked this book up. I thought it would be a good one to show alongside the book that I've got here. Love this Mike Deodato cover of The Challenges of the Unknown, alongside, as you can see here, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, the Trinity, in their own flavors of Challenges of the Unknown outfit. I thought the artwork in here was pretty good. I read a little bit of the story. There's a bit of Mr. Terrific there. So I'm looking forward to digging a little bit deeper into that and having a read. First issue, so it's still on the shelves today. So if you can, go out and grab it. And then I'm picking up the absolute titles at the moment as well. This one's got a bit of a story. It was in my pull list or standing order, but it didn't get given to me. So I had to go back and get it. This is Absolute Wonder Woman, or number 2, which apparently is a fantastic issue. So looking forward to getting in and digging into that book. So that's that. But the reason for the Challenges of the Unknown, let me just move that Comics King cancer there. Reason for Challenges of the Unknown, I recently picked up the Deadman and Challenges of the Unknown, issue 74. And I wasn't really aware of Challenges of the Unknown until I came across this issue. You can see here, this is a Neil Adams cover. Got a great sort of spooky cover there. But what's great about this, aside from this Denny O'Neil, George Tusker, and Neil Adams front story with Deadman and the Challenges of the Unknown, as you can see, I'll show you some of the artwork as we go through it. But what's great about this book, which is the reason why I picked it up, is if you turn all the way through the main story, which in itself is a fine, wonderful story. Nice house ad there for House of Secrets and the Unexpected. But if you keep going through, right at the very end, aside from Moolah the Mystic, is this one-page story, Dark as Death, with art by Bernie Wrightson. It's a single one-page story, as you see, with a story by Al Case. But I wanted to get this purely for this Bernie Wrightson first story in there, which tells the story, one-page story of this guy's descent into madness. So thought that would be a good one to pick up. And as I say, that got me into picking up the Challenges of the Unknown. So 2 Challenges of the Unknown for the price of one. I'm really for the price of one, but as I say, this is the problem with my collecting rabbit hole. It sends me in other directions in terms of the sort of books I should be picking up. So great to pick up Deadman and the Challenges. This is a tough one to get in high grade because of that black cover. Now, this, I think, is VF, around about an 8.0. It's got a little bit of sort of blunting on the corners. Not too many spine ticks, but, nothing that's massively color breaking. But again, I don't think I'm going to be getting that graded. But just wanted to share that with you because it was quite timely to have that next to Challenges of the Unknown number 1. So super happy to get those in there. Let's just go back to the comments. We have second best boss. I brought myself a Captain Britain number 1 for Christmas. Congratulations. That is my perennial book. I have probably about 8 or 9 of those graded that I just, whenever I see them, I pick them up. So congratulations. Did it get the mask? Second best Bob. That's the question. Hopefully you got the mask included as well, because that is the key to that book, especially if you're going to get it graded. That book needs to, unfortunately, have the mask in. Otherwise, you think you get a purple. Maybe you get a green label. A green label, I think. I can't remember. I never remember. Purple label is for restoration, and the green label is an incomplete issue. So I think that's what you would get, is the green label in that instance. So that's our Deadman and the Challenges of the Unknown issue. I thought that would be a nice one to share with everyone alongside. Another one that came in this week that I picked up. This is a half-price book. Our local comic shop here called All Star Comics does have an amazing half-price bin where they have a whole bunch. It's not for single issues, but more for hardcovers. And I managed to pick this up, which is Amazing, Fantastic, Incredible. It is a marvelous memoir written by Stan Lee, with Peter David doing the vast majority of text, and art by Colleen Duran. But what this is an interesting comic book retelling of Stan Lee's life, essentially. Takes you through all of the early days, his childhood, what inspired him. Some really good art in here. And I thought this was good. This ended up costing me, I think, $25 Australian. You can pick them up new off Amazon, etc. I'll leave a link down below later today. There's the meeting of Stan and Jack Kirby there. And just interesting to see this story retold in a sort of comic format, which I think is quite apt for Stan. We'll skip through how he met his wife, which they liken it to what happens with Mary Jane when she first appears. Talks about the Comics Code Authority and how that influenced the comic books. It's got a little bit of more work from Stan. Let's just find. This is the sort of thing that you'd get. You get how he came up with the Incredible Hulk. I think there's a Fantastic Four one here. Yep, Fantastic Four. You get a great snapshot of Kirby there, and it's just a very interesting little book to read. As I say, it covers a lot of the early days. Shows the Amazing Fantasy 15 cover. And again, all recreated. Journey into Mystery 83. And all of these titles and covers recreated quite well by Colleen Duran. House of Suspense 39. But yeah, I thought this is a really cool book. We talk a little bit there about Steranko's work, Steve Ditko, and how he brought Doctor Strange into the mix. And covers off, obviously, the X-Men as well. So, as you can see, a pretty decent book. And it goes through a whole bunch of Marvel history in a sort of comic book form, which I thought was a fantastic way to play it. And you get to see all of the creators alongside Stan here. And it, as I say, you get lots of these moments like the Kiss magazine, for instance, how the Punisher comes around, his wife's Pleasure Palace book. Yeah, so as you can see, pretty decent looking book. Talks about the Marvel movies. And I believe this was written by Stan prior to his death. So it's great to see. And you get to see things like the Stan Lee's Just Imagine when he reimagined DC characters as well. So a fantastic little book. It's definitely for $25. Really happy to pick that up. And a nice little memento to go on the shelf. So I thought I'd share that one with you. Got a great, as I say, a great little cover here. And if you take the actual slip off, you get all of the superhero faces as well. So presentation, really nice. Nice foil cover. So I thought I'd share that one with you as well, because it's a pretty interesting little book to add to the mix. Let's see here. We have Second Best Bob, no mask, hence the cheap price, but also I've never had a book graded, so no worries. It doesn't matter. I mean, the book in itself is fantastic, just to have Captain Britain's first appearance, especially if you're not going to get it graded. So I know you can get copies of the masks. Some people are now starting to do them, which I think is a bit weird. But regardless, hopefully you can find one at some point. We have Digger Jim. Hello, Jim. How are you, mate? Again, always a pleasure to see you, sir, in the chat. All right. Before we move on to the C3 haul, I did want to show you this. Some of you will recognize this from one of my CGC fail videos. I finally got this back. This is Mighty World of Marvel number 4, which I thought this would be quite interesting for Second Best Bob, because this is Marvel UK book. Predates, obviously, the Captain Britain, which came in 1978, I believe. This is a Jim Starlin cover on this book in particular. The first 20 issues, issue number 2 through to issue number 20, all featured original new Jim Starlin covers created specifically for Marvel UK. So very early in Jim Starlin's work at Marvel, and just great to have this reholded post the mechanical era, where they put this back cover pinup as the front cover on the book. So now have it back in the collection. Really happy to have that. An 8.5 as well. I think it's the highest graded on the census for this book. There's not many of these graded at all. They're really hard to get in high grade. So happy to have that back. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful title. And so we'll pop that back in there. Back to the chat for 1 second. Vincent, good to see you. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Welcome to the chat. And second best Bob, I have number 1 in terrible condition and a few others. Yeah, they're a fantastic book, Mighty World of Marvel. I love them. Again, it's so hard to find them in any good grade. So at 8.5, I'm really happy to pick that up. But let's go into the mix with these pickups from C3. So a bit of background. As I say, I was on a number of the live streams for Comics Curing Cancer, and I will put a link in the chat post the show for C3, so you can go and check it out. I think they almost got to their target they overreached their target of 50,000 USD, and they were trying to get to 60. I'm not sure where they're at. I know when I last looked, it was somewhere around about 58,000 US dollars. So fantastic effort from the team. But I thought that, obviously such a great cause. So I wanted to give back to the charity as well as pick up some great books. So let's go through what I managed to grab. So the first one on the list is this awesome Immortal Hulk issue 50 cover, which is an artwork by Joe Jusko that they created. Essentially, this took the trading cards from the 90s, the Marvel Masterpieces set, and recreated that. Well, not recreated, but blew them up for the cover. So taking the original Joe Jusko art. When I saw this come up, I had to pick it up. I would have just picked it up. I didn't realize at the time that it actually had Joe Jusko's signature on it. So this is an absolute pleasure to pick this one up, because the original art piece cover of that Thing versus the Hulk battle is great, but just to have that Joe Jusko signature alongside, that is absolutely brilliant. So I'm thinking that I will probably put this in for submission with CGC and get the actual authenticated signature. This one is one of those that I probably will get graded, given that fact that it's signed by Joe Jusko there. But it is a great cover, as you mentioned. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, Jim. Love this book. Super happy to pick that one up. As I say, I have a bit of a soft spot for these sort of trading cards back in the day. So that was a bit of a no-brainer to pick up. I've been after this one for a little while. Thought I'd share this one with you. Again, I wasn't going to go and buy one, but when I saw this come up for grabs, thought this would be a good one. I think I picked this one. The previous one I picked up on DJ Lynx's C3 show, but then I managed to pick this one up on Rob's actual show as well. So this is Ultimate Spider-Man #1 from last year, March last year. I hadn't actually owned this up until this point, and saw this, thought now's the time to pull the trigger. Great cover, and a great book, and a great grade, 9.6. I'm happy with that. Toying again with cracking that out, seeing if I can get a 9.8, but no major rush in terms of this book. As I say, it's still reasonably pricey. It's a great run by all accounts, so very happy to have that in the mix as well. Also on Rob's show, picked this one up. because I quite like the idea of Peter Parker and the family there. So you got a recreation of that classic J. Scott Campbell cover, the original J. Scott Campbell cover, with Mary Jane waiting for Spider-Man and swinging in the background. This updated version for Ultimate Spider-Man issue 4 got a 9.8. This was from Rob. I think he got a whole bunch done and graded, so I was happy to pick this one up. I love this one with the whole Parker family there and a recreation of that classic cover. So happy with that one. We have one of our channel members in the chat as well, Brian LCS. Welcome, Brian. It's really good to see you. Hope you are well, my friend. Caught your latest video. Thank you very much. I will be leaving a comment soon. If you haven't already, check out Brian's channel as well as his latest video, where he talks about a lot of different YouTubers to watch in 2025. So it's great to have you here, mate. Welcome. This one is a bit of an interesting one for you. This is Hulk number 3. Now, I think this, from memory, is the first appearance of Titan. But the thing that I really liked about this cover in particular was picking up this Jim Chung black and white variant sketch, or not. It's not a sketch, but essentially this black and white version of his artwork of the Hulk there. This one we got into a bit of a bidding war. Wasn't expecting to pay as much as I did, but as I say, given it was cancer for comics curing cancer, absolutely no question. So managed to secure it at the low price of $150. So this one, as I say, got into a bit of a bidding war alongside another book I'm going to show you as well. But this, I thought, I had to pick this up. I love Jim Chung's work. He's done a couple of commissions for me in the past, and I really like his art style. Very not too reminiscent of John Byrne, but it's just certain artists stand out, and this, Jim Chung just seems to be able to do. I love it when he does art on comics. I loved his Avengers versus X-Men stuff as well, and obviously he's the co-creator of the Young Avengers as well. So I'm very fortunate to have one of his original concept sketches or workings out for the Hulkling character. So yeah, super happy to have that. So great cover, as you mentioned. Look at that, great cover, great Hulk from Brian. And yes, I love the line work too. But I don't know how he does it. As I say, my favorite book that I got from last year in terms of a commission was that X-Men, which some of you may or may not have seen. X-Men number 1, which he did a recreation of that entire X-Men number 1 cover with Magneto versus all of the original X-Men. Another one I picked up. Wasn't expecting to pick this one up, but always a classic to try and grab some Silver Age. Got this Journey into Mystery 123. Only a grade 5.5, but that does not matter one jot. So let's bring this into the center so you can see it just a little bit clearer. There you go. So there you go. I'm not necessarily a massive fan of this cover, but again, trying to complete that Journey into Mystery run, and this was a bit of a no-brainer. It's that face. That face that always cracks me up on this one. It doesn't really add to the seriousness of the comic book, but nevertheless, a great one. And then we have this Weapon H number 1 with this recreation of Hulk 345, Todd McFarlane's cover swipe of that. Thought that was a great one to pick up. Again, got into a bit of a bidding war on this one. Bumped the price up, but again, it was all for charity, and I love that cover recreation. So having that Virgin variant as well, it was pretty cool to pick up. So that was all the graded books. There's no sort of original art there as yet, but I did pick up a number of graded art pieces, or a number of art pieces that I wanted to share with you all as well. The first one is this Joe Rubenstein Wolverine cover. on the Wolverine and the X-Men issue 1. Really happy to pick that one up. Again, I think, overpaid for some of the other books, but this one in particular, I don't know why it didn't go for more. It's such a great piece, and also done by Joe Rubenstein, who was behind the original, one of the collaborators on the original Wolverine miniseries. So I thought that was a great one to add to the mix as well. I'll probably, again, get this one graded at some point and authenticated. But I love that sketch. It's less of a sketch, more of an actual proper art piece of Wolverine. So really happy to grab that one by Joe Rubenstein. This one I picked up on Rob's stream. Just really like the look of it. I'll bring it slightly closer to the camera because it's fantastic. A really beautiful looking Spidey by Garner, which I just thought had to pick this one up. You would have seen that on the thumbnail for the other set, but I'll probably be updating that because I wanted to show this off today. Really happy to pick this up. Just look at that. It's a fantastic little piece of art of Spidey, and just very, very well realized. Just looks fantastic. Try and get that light out of it so you can go, there you go. Really get good sense of the pencil work on that. It's just very simple, very clean. Just a lovely little piece of Spider-Man. Very well realized there. If only I could draw like that. If only. But yeah, these all came in comic capsules as well. So certain books and certain artwork came in these comics curing cancer, with Comics Curing Cancer stickers in these really great comic capsules. I've got a number of these now, so I'll be starting to use those when I do my travels overseas, because they're fantastic in terms of making sure your books and artwork stay in decent shape. And then probably to close us off today is the last book from the submission, which is this Ultimate Spider-Man Issue 1 Blank Sketch Edition. This is a sketch or a piece of art that Isiverse NYC did. So I asked him to do Spider-Man on the front cover, and he did this amazing full-page spread of Spidey. We're going to get this graded when I see him at Heroes Con and get it in a slab. Again, I've got a couple of pieces of art from the community members that I purchased during the time. So vast majority of those, I'm going to try and see if I can get them graded and put it into the mix. But I really appreciate the work that he did here. Fantastic looking image. Really happy with it. And an opportunity to read Ultimate Spider-Man 1 before it goes in the slab. And hopefully, as I say, get into that series as well. But I'm hearing a lot of great things about Ultimate Spider-Man. So it's fantastic to have that. Thanks, Izzy. That's a fantastic job there, my friend. Really good. As I mentioned, I've got a number of books coming back, or I've got a few other pieces of artwork coming back from, I think it's from Locke and a couple of other community artists. I think CJ Comic Journey was in the mix too. So I'm looking forward to getting them back. That'll be a future stream. But I wanted to share with you the Comics Curing Cancer haul that they sent me through. They very kindly as well gave me one of these coins, which is essentially American Cancer Significant Contributor Award. So lucky to pick up one of those. As I say, it was a great event, and I would urge you, if you haven't already, you can duck over to the Comics Curing Cancer website and leave a donation if you can. We, or the community, will be holding Comics Curing Cancer again in October. So I think Rob announced the new amount had been put out there, or new 2025 campaign had been started. They're going to be at Heroes as well, as from what I hear from talking to Rob. So looking forward to another year of raising money for Comics Curing Cancer. Oh, I've just lost my screen. Just give me 1 minute. You can hear my keystrokes, so you'll be able to hack my account. So who do we have in the mix? Let's have a quick look. John's Comics with Kids is here. Good to see you, John. Always a pleasure, mate. And Vogs is there too. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Welcome. All right. Bit of a quick one, this one. Hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of the Comics Cure and Cancer stuff. We'll be back to normal programming next week, I think. Got a lot to show you. A few things, including some Alan Moore's. And we'll probably have a bit of news about the channel next week. I've been having some thinking over the holidays about how I change around a few things, give a bit more value to members. And as I say, if you haven't joined our channel membership, the price variance already, please consider doing so. As I mentioned, all the proceeds for channel memberships go to the Hero Initiative. And as I say, we'll have a bit more news on that next week. But thanks again for joining. Hope you enjoyed the show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all and sharing these pickups with you today. And with that, I will leave you to your rest of your weekend. And for the rest of us, our new week and new year. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very, very soon.